Shalom, everyone.
Shalom, everyone.
Yes, you have found the All Things L channel, and my name is Elena.
And I'm Paul.
Yes, and All Things L, it's not just about me. All Things L, L as the one true God, L as El Elyon, El Shaddai. But a lot of fun things that we do, everything in life we do is for Him, right? So
That's right.
Today we're going to show you what we do as a family for our weekend brunch.
So we do this every Saturday as a family. We get up whenever, the kids get up whenever, and we all chip in and we have fun making brunch, and we have different things. But today we're going to prepare
our brunch menu. Today we have turkey bacon,
and my favorite,
best ever waffles,
waffles.
and the frittata
And
by
our
Chef
tomato and spinach frittata that we make, which is an Italian omelet that's baked actually in the oven. And so let's get started with that.
Yes. So, okay, tell them about, so the brunch idea, we started out as a family because it's really a great time for us. We get together, we homeschool our kids, we have dinner together, but it's really relaxing for a few hours, whether it's Friday and sometimes Saturdays.
And usually Saturday, because the kids are homeschooled, so Saturday is kind of our family day in the morning before everybody
goes off and
does their own thing.
And it is Shabbat, and we are cooking on Shabbat. But you know what? It's family time. We're honoring the Lord, and we have great discussions during our brunch time. So it's amazing. So let's get started with some turkey bacon. So with turkey bacon, some people do theirs on the stoves, which we do on the stovetop, and on a large, what do you call it, griddle?
We have a flat top griddle that we usually start it on the flat top griddle, and sometimes we put it in the oven if we're preparing other items so that we can do it all at once.
Yeah, so oven, stovetop. And why turkey bacon?
And we prefer turkey bacon. I don't know, we never, I didn't grow up eating pork bacon, and I don't know if you did.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Chinese eat a lot of
bacon.
But
the kids don't really, they prefer turkey bacon. I think it's meatier, and it doesn't have that specific pork flavor, which we don't really eat pork.
Yeah, no, we don't do pork at home. And so the kids just have acquired the taste. It's funny how sometimes they go out or bring food, and our son is an Eagle Scout, and he's gone camping, cooking for his patrol, and brought turkey bacon. And his patrol scouts would be like, what in the world is turkey bacon? And some kids never seen turkey bacon before, because there's really no such thing.
Actually, go ahead.
No, it's just that something, some families that never, they really want that real fat turkey bacon, which is okay. Every now and then we could have some of that too.
So the first thing we do is when we get up, we have to have our coffee, and we usually grind and use a fresh French press. I specifically prefer that over a drip coffee. We do have Keurig, but we use that only in case we want something in the afternoon or something. But so the first thing in the morning, we have to have our coffee, and we start that off, and it's kind of smells the house up with coffee smell.
I do mine
coffee smell.
Bulletproof, and because I've been doing keto for quite a while, and a bulletproof coffee basically is just your favorite coffee, a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of MCT oil, and that's it. For me, I add in cinnamon and stevia. So I use an immersion blender, and blend it all together. Hand blender, and blend it all together. It tastes like a latte and looks like a latte. It's fabulous, and you can actually skip breakfast. I do. Some of you may not be able to but it really helps people doing intermittent fasting to feel fuller and not look for food while they're fasting. So we have our turkey bacon cooking on the stovetop. The next thing we do is to get our waffle batter ready.
So the waffle batter and this recipe is a little bit technical because you have to beat the eggs to the egg whites, right?
The egg whites, well, because that's what makes it fluffy. It's very key. So that's the only thing. You have to separate the egg whites out first and beat it until it becomes stiff. And so that's the first thing you do. Is I have 2 egg whites going into the mixer. That's the first thing because it will take a little while. And then you have 2 egg yolks to go into a separate bowl for your wet ingredients. So your wet ingredients, you're going to need 1 cup of milk. I use whole milk, or if people want skim milk or almond milk. And then we're going to do 1/4 cup of oil. And so you've got the egg yolks and the milk and the oil going in, mixing it together. Now, for the dry ingredients, we have this flour. And you can use any flour you would like. We have used gluten-free flour, whole wheat flour, and I would prefer to use less gluten, and we've done that, and I've done keto style waffles. But what we found in the recent couple of years, we found this flour that you can get it online, and it's European flour, and this particular one is from France, and there's one that I've gotten from Italy. European flour actually has less of a gluten, something about it.
Because it's not processed the same way as the processed flour in America.
The grains, and I know lots of gluten-free people or gluten intolerant people, they cannot eat gluten, any bread, any pasta in the United States, but they can eat European pastries and European pasta, something about it. And so I feel better using it. And so for your dry ingredients, you're going to need 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 tablespoon sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you mix it all together. Now this recipe, actually, I have halved it because for the 4 of us, for waffles, this is perfect size. We don't want to have lots of leftover.
When there is leftover, she does a great job by putting it in a baggie, and then she freezes it for the next day, which they really come out really good because you put them in an air fryer
Or a toaster oven.
or the toaster oven, and they come out similar
Crispy.
to when you made them fresh.
Yes.
Or you can actually put them back into the waffle maker and heat it up that way if you like.
Yep. And so with the wet ingredients, so you mix it up really well, and then the dry ingredients, you mix it up. Now you're gonna combine those 2 together and mix it up until you don't see any crumbs. And then the last thing you're gonna add to it, now back up though. At this point, you're going to see a consistency that is not too thick or too watery. And I have found from my experience that I can add a couple of tablespoons of flour until I see the consistency that I like, and then I add in the egg white, and then I just fold the egg white in, and that is your batter. Now you heat up the waffle maker, and we have ours is, the brand is Waring. I think we got ours from like Costco or something.
Yeah.
So what you do is you preheat it, and I'm showing you how we do our waffles. And you preheat it, and I like my setting to the highest because I like my waffles super crispy. And you put 1 scoop, I use ice cream scoop, 1 scoop of the batter into the waffle maker. And you turn that. Now, before you use it, I back up. One thing is the oil. You've got to spray oil onto your waffle maker. I use a brush. The reason is because I have found using the spray, oil gets everywhere in my kitchen, and I don't like that feeling. So I use the brush, and then I put the batter in the waffle, and you turn it until it beeps. Voila, you have your waffle ready for you. And then we're gonna show you later how we're going to put them all together.
One thing about this recipe that I noticed is that you can't really make it too far ahead because of the egg whites have to be folded into the batter, which makes it, that's what makes it crispy and light. So you don't want to make it too far ahead when you fold in the egg whites as well. So let me tell you a story about this recipe. It was funny because when Elena first found the recipe, she made it, and we had some friends over for brunch, and the one friend said, "Man, this is the best waffles ever." I said, "Really?" I said, "Did you see that recipe?" He goes, "No." I said, "Because that's the name of the recipe."
That's the name of the
Remember that?
recipe. Yes, best waffle ever. That is, I mean, you can literally type it in. That's the name of it. So let's tell them about the frittata.
So the frittata, we switch up. Sometimes we have fried eggs. Sometimes we have different kind of eggs. Elena wanted to make some frittata today. So frittata is an Italian style omelet, which is actually with a French or American omelet, usually flip it over. So with an Italian omelet, you kind of basically put all the ingredients into the mix as you cook it, so that it all cooks together. And you don't flip this one; you actually cook it on the stove top, and then you finish it in the oven.
And so frittata is like quiche or omelet. People, you can use whatever vegetables or meat you may have, right?
Yeah, you can use anything you like. So today we made frittata with spinach, tomatoes, and Parmesan cheese.
If you like onions or anything.
So it was for about 4 of us. So I used about 6 eggs. So you take your eggs and you crack them in a bowl, and then you chop up your vegetables. Today I diced up some tomatoes, and Julianne some fresh spinach. I love fresh spinach in this dish. As you could see how it is folded in and not cooked ahead. So what we did was crack the eggs, whipped it up, and then you put the Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, and olive oil in the mix with the egg, and then you mix that up. And then what I did was I added the tomatoes and then added the spinach as it went into the pan. So what we did is we love using a cast iron pan because it basically really, if you get it at the right temperature, it doesn't stick at all. And you can cook anything you want inside of that pan because it's really flavorful. And when it's seasoned, it's great. You don't have to wash it, you just wipe it right out. So what we did is the first thing you want to do is you want to get that pan hot. Not too hot where it's smoking, because then you're going to burn the egg and make it tough. So you just want it to be so that when the egg goes into the pan, as you can see, it just starts to cook, starts to sizzle a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold, as you cook the egg, you're going to fold it into the center until it starts to cook. You don't want to beat it up like scrambled eggs, but you want to fold it towards the center. And then you lower your temperature of your stove, because you don't want to cook the eggs too fast. When you cook eggs too fast, they become tough. So you're going to cook it at a slow temperature and keep moving it towards the center of the pan until it starts to set. Once it starts to set is when you put it into the oven. And you don't want to put it in the oven about 325 until it starts to firm up, or until you know, depends on how you like your eggs.
So let me ask you, when you preheat the oven, what temperature do you preheat it
You
at?
just preheated it for 325 for about 15 minutes, not too long. And then when you put it in the oven, you like I said, you want to cook it to whatever firmness you like to eat your eggs. I like eating my eggs soft, so I won't leave it in too long. And then when it's done, you're going to pull it out. As you can see, I top it with a little more olive oil to give it a little more moist instead of butter. And I topped it with some more Parmesan cheese.
Now let me ask you, so the pan is hot in the beginning. Do you put some oil on the pan
Yeah,
too?
so you want to put a little olive oil in there, not a lot, just to
Make sure it
lubricate.
won't stick.
Yeah, to give it a little something to fry in. So and that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Great when you're having a lot of people over. It's easier to make. You can make it ahead, keep it in the oven versus other style eggs.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm getting hungry. So looks like we've got everything together, so we can kind of show you how we're plating up. Paul is gonna plate it all up, and for
We'll
us.
show you what it looks like when it's all said and done and we're ready to eat. And here we go. We got our waffles. We have our whipped cream, freshly made by Elena. And we have
Yes, let's talk
blueberries.
about the whipped cream. We have bought whipped cream in the store before, but I found, because we use heavy cream for coffee, for keto. So I always have heavy whipping cream in the house. So what I do is 1 cup of heavy cream to about a tablespoon or so of xylitol or erythritol. And whatever sweetener that you use, I use again, the immersion blender, the hand blender to blend it together. Takes just about 60 seconds and you will have fresh whipped cream, and it's so much better than your store-bought whipped cream. So here we have our waffles, and we also could put some syrup right
We're gonna
here.
put our
And we
syrup
did
on.
not too much for me. All right, we're going to dig in because we've been waiting for this and preparation. Again, you can do it as elaborate or as simple as you would like when you have some friends over to do brunch or brunch after the holiday. And I'm gonna dig in for the frittata first.
It's good, huh? Mm-hmm. And bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Great. Right. One thing, you can eat the bacon with your hand.
It is not crispy anymore. You can throw it into the oven or toaster oven, air fryer, my all-time favorite, and reheat it. Your waffle, whatever berries you have. Today we have blueberries and some fresh whipped cream, and I also have some keto xylitol powdered sugar. So good. So we have that.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you spend time with your family the same way we do.
Yes. So hopefully this will inspire you to have whatever tradition that your family can incorporate to build deeper relationships with your family. So thank you for watching and joining us for our brunch today. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.